Hey John, I wanted to give you a little look at my setup. I've got a 55-gallon drum that I originally had cold rolled steel and rebar around, and then I got a sheet of stainless steel which I added. Didn't bother to take the cold rolled steel out. One of the benefits of using a drum like this is that the pan is suspended straight down into the solution. Remember that electrolysis is line of sight. And in your setup, you have an anode on this side and an anode on this side. And in your tote, your pan might be sitting kind of like this. So you're only getting electrolysis between these points. So what I would try to do would be to suspend the pan so that it's completely up and down in your tote. Add a little bit more fluid in there and have the front and back of the pan directly opposite your anodes so that they're pointing right at the front and the back of the pan. I'm using a wheel charger from Tractor Supply. I think it was about 150 bucks. I set it on the 10 amp setting, which is the lowest this one has. 2 amps will actually do everything just fine. Running it at 10 amps just heats the water up and costs more electricity. So that's my setup. I think you're really right. I will typically leave a pan in for about 24 hours before even pulling it out and looking at it. And the typical time in a tank could be anywhere between 24 hours and 4 or 5 days, depending on how bad it is. And that solution looks really yucky because it's got a whole bunch of carbon floating on top. But you're on the right track. You're not doing anything wrong. I think you're probably looking for results faster than you're going to get them. But I think also you're battling because I did this when I set up my very first electrolysis tank. I used a tote like you have. And I think that your pan is in there kind of submerged at an angle, and you're not getting the best reaction you could get between your electrodes.